A genial welcome to my dear students. A thing of beauty is joy forever. The famous quotation from the great poet John Keats. A thing of beauty is joy forever. Yes, my dear students, you are beautiful and you are our joy. Today we are going to discuss the part 1 of the lesson written by Jomo Kenyatta. The Gentleman of the Jungle is the name of the story. And in this class I have divided this class into 3 parts, or we are going to discuss 3 things in this class: about the author, then the background, and a gist about the story. So, as I told in the last class, it is very essential to know about the author. Why? Because it gives a clear explanation or give us a good idea or background about or understanding about the work. So, before could we read, it is mandatory that you must know who is the author, just like you look for the brand. So, the same way, when you buy some things, you look for the brand, so you know the quality or the stuff what it is about. The same way, it is good to read or to know a little about the author. So today's author is Jomo Kenyatta. Jomo. It is pronounced as Jomo Kenyatta. 1893-1978. He was an African political leader, first president of Kenya. A Kikuyu, he was one of the earliest and the best known African nationalist leader. He campaigned for the land reform and African political rights. So this last line is very important for you. That is, he campaigned for the land reform and African political rights. So the entire story is based on regarding the land reforms and the African political rights. And looking into the background about the author, he is an African writer and the first president of Kenya. So he fought for the freedom, or he wrote about the condition about the people in Africa. Before we move on, let me ask a simple question. What is a fable? Yes, fable is a short story where animal will be characterized, or animal will be the main character, but clear implication on human life. You would have heard about the Aesop's fable, the story of the fox and the grapes. What is the moral of the story of the fox and grapes? The fox were really hungry and he had an eye on the bunch of grapes, but he couldn't achieve it. So finally he himself is telling that grapes were ripe, but I see now they are quite so. That means what? If in your life you are not able to achieve something, you criticize. So the moral. So this story written by Jomo Kenyatta is also a fable, in the form of a fable, where human beings, it is having a direct implication to human life. But who is the main character? Main characters are animal. So I repeat, fable is a story where animal will be the main character, but it is direct implication on human life. The same way here, it is not about the story of a fox. The moral is for the human being. Sometimes if you are unable to get something, what you console yourself telling that yes, it was good, but right now it is not good. The same way, what is fable? Fable is a short story where animal will be the character, but it is having direct implication on human life. So the background of the story is very important. It is about the African people. And when we talk about African people, you know, the African indigenous people, they were not that educated enough. But one thing we all know, that Africa is a rich country and it is being colonized by the British people for the sake why they were attracted towards this Africa, because of the richness, because they understood that the land of Africa is very fertile and it got the rich resources, pearls, gold mines, so and so. So British initially had an eye on this Africa, and their main intention is to loot the country or exploit the country. You all know the story of our own country, India. The Britishers came as merchants. Finally, they became the owner of the land. They took the advantage of the situation. The same way, even though this story portraits or the main characters are animal, but it is directly the writer Jomo Kenyatta is hinting on how the countries like India, Africa were colonized by the British people for the sake of their well-being. They misused their power and colonized. For so many years, Indians were under the British control. The same way, what happens, and you can understand from our own story, that is, so many or so long nobody cannot be controlled. You can fool a person once or twice, not all the time. You can suppress a man, but to an extent, after a limit they will retaliate back. The same thing happens here too. So even though in this story the main characters are animals, but it is having a direct implication. The writer is hinting on the British and their colonized country, the colonialism, imperialism, all those things. Now you can see that Queen of England. Here the lion, the main character lion, is portrayed as the Queen of England because Britishers colonized, and who was the head? Britishers colonized India, Africa for their sake of their well-being. So here lion means, the character lion means the Queen of England. So let us move on to this beautiful story, the fable. And this is the background about the story. In the late 19th century, this is from your textbook itself. If you have your textbook, you can open your textbook and listen to the audio. Page number 1. In the late 19th century, the chief European powers divided Africa themselves. So they divided. So you remember the policy in 8th standard and all, you would have heard the policy of divide and rule. The Britishers divided India or conquered India with their policies of divide and rule. So in the 19th century, European powers divided Africa among themselves. They could do this because European arms were superior and because the African chiefs did not understand the meaning of the treaties they were asked to sign. Here I am remembering about the doctrine of lapse theory introduced by the British. The same way, how these people were divided, the main weakness they hit. Britishers hit on their main weakness because they were not educated enough, or they were unable to understand the treaties made between. Treaties means agreement they were forced to sign. As a result, Africans lost the lands they had traditionally lived on and cultivated. So after signing the treaty with European power, what happened? They never realized that they are making an agreement between the European power where they themselves are selling their own land to the European. So what happens here right now? The owner of the land became their slaves. I hope you understood what is happening because of their unable to understand, or they never they never understood the treaty what this European made between African chiefs. So African chiefs unknowingly they signed the treaty. So what happened to them? They lost their lands that were traditionally they were living and they were cultivating. The attitude towards European expansion is made clear in the following fable. So this story, the fable, it shows what it is showing. European expansion, the strategy or the technique used by the European power to expand mean to increase the size of their kingdom. One point of time, this British colonized so many countries, so they got a title that their kingdom the sun will never set, because they colonized India, they colonized Africa. So many parts of the India were so many part of the world were under control of this European power. So they said that, so theirs is a kingdom where the sun will never set. So they have only one motivation. What is the motivation? Hook or crook, whatever happens, they are bothered only about their well-being. Which country? European power. So what is their sole aim? Expand. Expand means increase the size of the kingdom by conquering the other country. So this is the background of the story. So now we finish. I told you in this class we will discuss about the author. We finished the second one, the background. I hope this will help you to understand the real meaning of the story. Even when once you look just like that in the textbook, the story starts with a simple language, just like once upon a time. Would have studied the simple language in order to reach even a small child can understand. Once upon a time, an elephant made a friendship with a man. That is the first paragraph. Why the author has used such a simple language? There is a reason to make everyone understand, even the illiterate people to understand, or in a simple way how he express his feelings to the reader, or his aim to reach to everyone. We can conclude in a better way that why he has framed in such a simple manner or started with once upon a time, because he wanted to touch the heart of every reader. So who is the author? Jomo Kenyatta. What is the background? It is talking about the imperialism, colonization, and it is a satire. Satire means making fun of the political system. So here we are going to start the lesson. Once upon a time, an elephant made a friendship with a man. One day, a heavy thunderstorm broke out. The elephant went to his friend, who had a little hut at the edge of the forest. So one mark over here. So if you have textbook, please take it and underline over the who had a little hut at the edge of the forest. Who had? The man. And said to him, "My dear good man, will you please let me to put my trunk inside your hut to keep it from this torrential rain?" So here the poet is asking himself, the elephant is the main character. So introduction of the two main character take place here in this first paragraph, the elephant and the man. So two important characters throughout the story. These characters are relevant. So who are the characters? The elephant and the man. So you may be wondering right now, what is the connection between an animal and a man? So here, the very beginning itself, as I told you, the characters are animals, but it is having a direct bearing on human life. So here you can see that one side animal nature. Animal nature means cruel nature. On the other side, man. Man means a gentle human being. So you can see that even the character itself is what? One is ferocious, very cruel, and other one is sober and silent and mild character. So here elephant is trying to make friendship with man. So here elephant and lion refers to the imperial people, or we can say that British. So just think about the situation of India before the freedom. So Indian we can consider as Indians are considered, we can equate with the man, and the elephant to the British rulers. So in this contest, elephant is the British people, and you can say that man is the native African people. So for you to understand, I have told about India and British, but Jomo Kenyatta has written in the story in the context of African native people. So you see here the conversation. My dear good elephant, will you please let me put my trunk inside to save me from the torrential rain. Torrential means the very heavy rain. Then man, seeing the situation, replied, my dear good elephant, my hut is small, but there is room for your trunk. And underline that word. He said that yes, there is space, but only for your trunk. Understood. And the man carefully, he is not illiterate, he is telling that only for your trunk you can, but when you put the trunk, he knows that elephant is gigantic, huge in size, so he is telling that put it gently. Underline those words. You see how he was, how polite and considerate the man was. The same way the African people were very considerate towards the British people. But what they did it finally, we will see in the end of the lesson, or you would have learned from the history pages itself. The elephant thanked his friend, saying, you have done me a good deed, and one day I shall return your kindness. And definitely, after receiving the shelter from man, what this elephant is telling? Elephant is telling, definitely I will return your kindness. Yes. So here it is having a double meaning over here. But man have taken in a positive way, thinking that the elephant will help him, or he felt that elephant is very good. So that is the impression given by this elephant to the man. So two paragraph is clear. So elephant and a man is the main character. Then elephant is asking, he wanted to make friendship. And what friendship? So when you look into the meaning of friendship, is what do you mean by a friendship? Friendship means you will have a good relationship without expecting anything from others. But here the man is making friendship in order to with man. Elephant is making friendship with man in order to meet his needs. So that itself we can know that it is not the real friendship. It is with a motive or intention. But what followed? As soon as the elephant put his trunk inside the hut, slowly he pushed his head inside and finally flung the man away. Underline that line. That finally, slowly he put his trunk inside and finally he threw the man inside from his own hut, which he had made with his hard labor. Without any consideration, without any ill feeling, he threw the honor from the hut. So you can see that the real animal nature or animal instinct from the elephant's and he made the friendship with man with a definite motive. My dear good friend, your skin is harder than mine. And you see how he's justifying his action after throwing the man. He's telling that, justifying that why I did, because your skin is harder than mine, and so you can survive the rain. And my dear good friend, your skin is harder than mine. And what happens? As there is no enough room for both of us, you can afford to remain in the rain while I am protecting delicate skin from the hailstorm. Hailstorm means this, the rain instead of raindrops, you will have ice cubes. So here he is telling that I am protecting. You can see the justification of the action what elephant did. He knows that what he did is not right, but what he is doing that is justifying, telling that your skin is harder than mine, and if we both stay together in the room, there won't be enough space for both of us. So what we can do is, instead of both getting wet and you have more capacity, so it's better you can stay outside and let me protect my skin from this torrential rain. The man, seeing what his friend had done to him, started to grumble. Grumble means started complaining. What his friend did to him? The elephant, threw him from his own hut. The animal in the nearby forest heard the noise and came to see what was the matter. So nearby animals, because it is in the jungle right now, so it's their kingdom. So animal came and asked what was the matter, but all stood around listening to the heated argument between the man and his friend. The elephant, in this turmoil, in this situation, in this bad situation, burning situation, where man was raising his voice and grumbling, look what this elephant have did to me. He threw me from my hut. Then lion, so as I told you, lion represents the Queen of England. So here the lion is coming and asking, loud roaring, and roaring means in a majestic way, because he is the king of the jungle. Don't you all know that I am the king of the jungle? How dare anyone disturb the peace of my kingdom? Underline that. So why lion became angry? Because there was restlessness in his kingdom. So he was angry because somebody have disturbed peace of his kingdom. On hearing this, elephant, who was one of his high ministers in the jungle, replied in a soothing voice, very soft voice, very humble, and in a low voice. He said, "My lord, there is no disturbance of the peace in your kingdom. I have only been having a little discussion with my friend." So he is quoting himself. See, we don't have any problem at all. We were having a discussion, me and my friend. So he's putting the word friend. So usually friends will not fight. So he's telling that no, it was only a discussion. Here, as to the possession, what is the discussion about? Who is the owner of the house? Here, as to the possession of this little hut, which your lordship sees me occupying. So he himself clearly telling them, right now I am sitting inside the hut. So there is a small discussion regarding the possession. Possession means who owns this hut right now. So nothing else or nothing wrong is happening in this place right now. We don't have any argument, but we have a slight discussion. So I hope, my dear girls, you understood about the author, about the background of the story, what made the writer, that is Jomo Kenyatta, to write a fable like this. So it is a political satire, making fun on the entire political system. So he is not giving hint on India, British or African people, but all this symbolizes all this nation. And instead of that, he is making animal as the character. So remember in your mind, fable, the two main character what you have seen today is the man, the elephant and the lion. The man, the elephant and the lion means the Queen of England. So have a spirit-filled day. So with this, I am ending the part 1 of the lesson Gentleman of the Jungle. Next class we will meet with part 2 of this lesson. Till then, read your English textbook and stay tuned with me.